Hi everyone, this is Jared, AC7WH, Backyard Ham Radio. I wanted to show you a couple of cool things that I just recently learned about with my Yaesu FTDX10. The first one is excellent for anyone who uses a linear amplifier, especially one that requires a longer transmit delay time. Now, this is something that you have to know about to be able to properly find. In fact, let's get down here and take a look at the manual for a moment. So this applies to the newer firmware updates with the FTDX10. And I'm specifically talking about the QSK delay time. Now, I'm not just talking about QSK operation. You can adjust this to 15, 20, 25, or 30 milliseconds. The default setting is 15 milliseconds, which seems to be fine based on what I have seen for my Palstar LA1K, especially since I am running it using that data cable. There's the cable back there. Special custom cable running from my radio over here out of that linear jack. Okay. So how does this relate to the amplifier? Even though this is talking about QSK and I use my amplifier with single sideband primarily. Well, it says this setting is valid in all communication modes, and the set transmit delay time works effectively for the transmit ground pin of the linear jack on the rear panel. Translation: this is what you would adjust for a transmit delay time, even though it is listed as a QSK delay time. Let me show you what that setting actually looks like here. So I'm going to go to Function. I'm going to go to CW setting. Under mode CW, you'll notice the QSK delay time of 15 milliseconds. There you go. So that is that feature that I recently learned about. The next feature that I learned about is how, without even having a memory card, and I don't have one in that slot down in here, I might get one sometime, we'll see. But without even having a memory card, you can store items in the memory. And specifically today, I wanted to focus on the Morse code memory. And you can play back that message through the speaker without transmitting over the air if you have the break-in set to off. So BK in, break-in set to off. And what you do is you go to Message, and you can enter various messages in here. I recommend looking at the manual for more information. I'm not going to go into that at the moment, but I would like you to hear how this sounds. You can also adjust the keying speed, by the way. And for that, I've got it at 13 words per minute there for the CW speed. That relates to how the encoder is set up for the message, as well as the decoder for decoding the Morse code. You want it to be approximately the same as what you're listening to properly decode. But anyway, back to the message. All right, that was a whole string that I typed in there. You can put in up to 50 characters, and I got pretty close to that. That had my call sign, AC7WH. repeated 5 times, and then the word testing repeated twice. And the reason that I wanted to enter that in there, even though I don't normally operate with CW, is because I am hoping to do a little bit of experimentation where I'm sending out a CW signal and I want to listen to see how my signal turns out. I would love for this with the amplifier on 6 meters to be able to do some moon bounce. That would be the ultimate. But even if I just use it in some form of beacon mode and listen in on different SWRs around the country or around the world potentially, that would be kind of cool, since Morse code tends to go the distance that way. And then of course there's also digital modes, but that's something I haven't gotten into yet. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and this is Jared, AC7WH73.